Hello everyone, welcome back to the Coding Explorer. This is Pradyumna and let us continue our exploration on the world of software together. Before we begin, I hope that you watched my last video about lists, tuples and ranges and their functions. I hope that you followed my homework and done all the homework. Since it wasn't to code but to just practice, I won't be demonstrating it now. Now, today we are going to learn about loops in Python. Loops are nothing but they are used to repeat or loop through something. There are two types of loops, for loops and while loops. We will learn more about them as we go further. So let us learn about for loops. They are used to iterate to a list, tuple, string or range. We'll understand what for loops are and more about them as we code. So we'll just understand the basic syntax. It is for the variable which is there in this list. So whatever is there in this list, it will iterate to it and it will do whatever you tell in this after this indentation. Now let us learn about while loops. They are used to repeat something until a condition becomes false. So their syntax for this is while, and you give the condition, and till this condition it will true, it will do something, and whatever is given here it will do it till this condition is true, and after this is false, it will continue with whatever code is there after this. Now we'll learn about nested loops. Nested loops are nothing but the combination of different loops in one another, and they are more complex than normal loops. So they can be both for and while loops, or only for and for loops, or only while and while loops. So let us start creating a program. We'll create a program to show all people in a birthday party. So just think you had a birthday party and you were very happy after that, and you have a list of people who are there. Now you want to see who had come and just show it out, and you also give the numbers who are there. The example of this is given here, so it will show the members who are there, and it will show 1.abc, 2.def, 3.ghi and 4.jkl. So let us begin. I'll create a new project. Again, I'll just name it as class 6 loops. So I'll just create it. So first we are going to print out whatever is there in a list. So let us just make a list which contains all the people who were present in your party. So I'll just name it as members. So if you remember, we had to use this square brackets. So I'll just write whoever over there. I'll just write A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. So now we are going to iterate to all this using a for loop. So let us, before we just do that, let us just tell what we are going to say. We'll just say the members who are present were the members who were present were. So let us iterate through this list. So I'll just write member in members. So you can see that there's a slight difference here. So it's a plural and singular, but you should not use members only over here because it will change again and it won't work properly. So for members in members, we are going to print who is the member. So we'll just say member. So this itself becomes a variable and it just prints out this after iterating through all this. But if we had to just print it in forms of who is the first, who is the second. Then if you remember, we are supposed to use the index, so we'll just try how to do that. So let me just write members dot index of the member. So after this we have to put a dot, again plus, but here you can see that this will be in the form of an integer, so we have to convert it into a form of a string, because index will be always an integer. So if we run this, we'll see that it will iterate to all this. It will just say the members who are present were, and then it will say 1 ABC, 2 DEF, because member, it will iterate one of all of these. So let us just run it and see. So you can see the members who were present were, so you can see that it is 0. So that is why what we have to do here is we have to just put a +1 so that it doesn't make a problem. So if we again run it, so you can see that the members who were present were, it says 1 ABC, 2 who is DEF, 3 GHI. But instead of this, if we had to print it in terms of just a comma, but we did not need a line space over here, then we are supposed to do it differently. So here what we do, we remove this, or we can also have this if we want, but then if we just want a comma after this instead of a line space, we just need to write comma end is equal to, so we give whatever is our end. We can give it as a space, we can give it as a comma. So I'll just give it as a comma and space on both sides. So I'll just run it. So you can see that it becomes 1 comma ABC, 2 comma DEF. So what happens here is this end is not taken as /n, but just as the space comma space. So even if we print something after this over here, it will also come again here. So what we do at the last is again give a print statement. So I hope that you understood it. If you have any doubt, you can put it in the comment section. If you can see that here, I have one of my friend and I'm searching for him, and I just want to stop after I find him. I want to just break the loop or just stop the loop. What we have to do is if, and your friend, let us just take it as JKL, or let us take GHI. I find GHI, his position where he's there, and then who were behind him, and then if he is the member, like when it is looping through, and at that point when it comes to GHI and when it is him, we just stop the loop. To stop the loop, we have to use this statement called break. So when we break over here, this loop stops over here and does not print whatever is there over after this. So let me just add some more people. So let us just run and check. So you can see that it stops over here and this loops break. But if I don't want to just show GHI, but I want to skip him and I want others, all of who are there, then we have to use a statement called continue. So what this does is, but here it should be above, because if it's after this, then it skips the one that is there after this. So what we have to do here is, if GHI is the member, then continue. What it does is it skips this loop once and then it goes to the next one. So if we run it and check, so you can see that it is JKL and GHI is not there over here, and here also it is, the numbers are always this only because we are finding the index, but if we were iterating to a range, it wouldn't be possible like that. Now there's another method through which you can print this. in this method we are going to use a range. So what we are going to do is we are going to find whoever is the member in each of it. So we are going to find all the odd members who are there. So what we do over here is, instead of for member in the members, we change this from for index in range of. So I had said that we can loop through any of the index, any of the lists or tuples or ranges or even a string. So here what we do is, instead of creating a new variable, we can directly write over here. So we have to start with 1, as you remember, and then comma, and then I'll just give the last this thing, which will be 6, and then the increase in step, which is 2, because we are going to print only the odd ones who will be there. So it is 1, 3, 5. So 6 will not be there, it will be less than 6. So what we are going to do is print. So instead of taking the index of this, since we're already doing it over here, what we'll do is we'll just print out whatever is the index, but we have to convert this into a form of a string. So I've converted it in a form of a string, and then again, as you remember, we'll just put a full stop after this, and then we are going to add this. So what we do over here is member of index. So what happens here is, as it loops through this, the first number will be 1, so it will say 1 dot and whatever is the index at this. But what happens at this point is that it becomes -1 over here, index -1, because if you remember, it is starts with 0 and not 1. So if we just run this, so you can see it is 1 comma AB 1.abc, then 3.ghi and 5.mno. So we skip the even numbers. Again, we can also we can use break and continue statements. So we are going to create another program about while loops. So the program we'll be creating would be about a number guessing game. You can see it's something like this. So you have to the user has to give guess the number. The computer will check if the number is correct, and you'll get chances up to 5, and after 5 chances, if your number you wouldn't able to guess the number, it tells that sorry, you lost your chances and the number was 3, and it just says thank you. So this will be how it is done. It is going to be very interesting, and we are going to learn something called libraries. Libraries are nothing but built-in files that are there in Python, and we'll learn more as we do coding. So let us begin. I'll create a new Python file. I'll name it as number guessing game. So I'll already have a number, which will be number is equal to 6. You can give any number you want, because we'll store this as a variable and we'll match this only. If it's correct, then we'll say the user is correct. Then we'll have a user number. So I'll just give it as 0 for now. The user will edit it. We are defining already because it will lead to an error while doing it. So we'll just create a while loop. So what we are going to do is, while user number is not equal to number. So what will happen here is, till the number, this number is not equal to this, it will be asking the user what is the correct answer. So I'll just create user number is equal to input of. So I'll just ask whatever is the input I want to ask. So guess the number. So when he gives the number, it will change, and when it changes, it will automatically affect the while loop. So if it becomes 5, it will not be equal to 6. so it will again ask the user. But if it becomes 6 and this will become false, so it will break the loop automatically, we not break the loop. But here this again is in the form of a string, so we'll convert this into a form of an integer. So if we run it, what will happen is it will be asking the user the number until it is correct. So what happens after that, we just say print thank you. So let us just run it. So I'll just give 1, it's asking again, I'll give 5, again it is asking, I'll give 8. Now let me give the correct one. So you can say it is just breaking loop and it is going to the next this thing and saying thank you. Here if you want to give a line space, you can give it by just /n. Now we can do this even a better way using an infinite loop. Here in an infinite loop, what we do is, instead of using this, we just write it as already true. So this loop will never break automatically because it is already true and it cannot be made false. So it will always be running it. So if we had seen in the for loop, we are supposed to use a statement called break, which will break this loop. So what we do here is, if user number is not equal to the number, then print, we can say that sorry you're wrong, guess again, sorry guess again, else if it's not if it's equal to this, then break the loop automatically. So let us just try it again. So it is asking me to guess the number, so I just give 4. So it is telling sorry guess again. So this is an infinite loop, so it will be going on forever. So I'll just give again 2. So you can see that is going on forever. But if I give 6, which is the correct number, it breaks the loop automatically. It does not break the loop automatically, but this breaks the loop because it's not equal to it is equal to this, so it breaks and it prints over this. We can increase then how the user is going by increasing the challenge. So number of, we can just give 5 chances to them. So let us just take chances. So we'll just write chances is equal to 0. So now what happens, we'll again check over here. When he's wrong, we'll check, we'll just add a chances plus is equal to 1. So if you remember, we had studied about this, so we are incrementing it by 1. So when the chances is more than we'll increase it 1. If chances, so when chances is we can say it is 5, we say print sorry you lost your chances. So when it is 0, it will add 1 and it will become 1. So 1 is not equal to 5, so it will not print. After sorry you lost your chance, we should also break the loop automatically, or else again it will ask the same thing and it will not work properly. So let us try it. Run, guess the number 1. So I'll just make more wrongs. So you can see after 5 chances, it is telling sorry you lost your chances, and it is just saying thank you after all this. Now you can even increase more such that you also play the game. So what if the computer automatically generates a random number? So we are going to learn about libraries. Libraries are nothing but pre-built functions or anything that are defined already by Python and they are stored, we can use those libraries to in our this thing to improve our code. So we are going to use a library called random. So we have to first import it. So we are telling the computer whatever code is there, or whatever functions, definitions, and whatever is there in this whatever is defined in Python already, import it all. So take all those functions and keep them ready. So what we are going to do is, instead of taking number is equal to 6, we are going to make a random dot rand int. So in this file there will be a function called rand int. We are using that. So we are going to give the first and the last number which we are going to use. So I'll give it as 1 and 11. So we also include 10. So this is 11 because 11 will not be included. So what happens here is this module automatically generates a random number, so even you won't know it. So you can also experience the challenge. So if we just try it, we can run it. So I'll just guess it as 1. So it's wrong. I'll try 6. It's wrong. I'll try 4. It's wrong again. 9. Okay, it's wrong again. So I'll just try with 3. Okay, so it was the wrong. So you can see that it's you would like to print the number which it was there to the user if he is not able to complete it at the last. So we can just say print the number was plus the number which was there, but we have to convert it into a string. So no, so this slash n wouldn't come here, it would come here. So let us automatically run it again. So I'll just guess it as 1, no, 8, no, 4, no, 6, no, then 4. Okay, so I was wrong, so you lost your chances. The number was 5. So it automatically generates different numbers. So I'll just show you again. I'll just give 7, 9. Okay, so yeah, see, you can see that it's random and it changes every time you run the program. So I hope you understood it, and if you have any doubts you can always put it in the comment section. I'll always respond as fast as possible. We'll also create another program today to understand about nested loops. We'll be creating this password checking app. It will be more complex than we had done before. So it will keep on asking the user just like in your smartphone, and after 5 times if you give the wrong answer, it will pause, like how in the smartphones it pauses for some time and only allows you to give the password. After that it will pause, and then it will again ask you, and it will continue. So it will be similar to this. So after 5 times it has stopped you, and then it will again ask, and when it's correct it will show you have logged in. So let us start creating. This will be different from the first one we created. So we'll just create a Python file. I'll just name it as mobile password checker. So let's create it. So again we'll have a password that is there. So I'll just give it as password is equal to, so this time instead of string we are going to use number. So I'll give a 6-digit number. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then we start a while loop. Again here we'll create an infinite loop. So while true. So what happens here is you can see that the user the whoever is the user is asked the password 5 times. After 5 times it stops for a few seconds and again starts asking it. So here what we do is we create another for loop inside this while loop. So for I in range, this I can be anything, you can take it as anything you want. So for I in range, I'll start from 0 comma 5. So 5 times it will repeat. As you know, it will be up to 4, but it starts with 0, so it will be 5 times only. So it will ask you password, so it stands for user password. So I'll ask input, enter the password. So what happens here is it will ask the user 5 times, but here again we have to verify if this password is, if your password is equal to password. So here what happens, even if we break the loop over here, the loop won't break over here and it will create a problem. So we'll create another variable called logged in stating false. So if it's, so this is a boolean value. So what we do is if you password is equal to password, we just make logged in is equal to, we make it true, and then we break this loop. So this loop breaks, but then the while loop will be still there. So we have to also verify in the while loop that this thing logged in is true, and we have to break it there also. So before we go there, now we have to also check if this is false. When it is false, we print enter correct password. So after it repeats for 5 times, what we do is again it will ask this again, but we have to stop it for some time. But before we stop it, we just check if logged in. So here you can see that we are not doing any comparison or anything, but we are just giving it as logged in because this is already false or just a boolean value. So you have to always give a boolean value. So whenever we compare also, it automatically takes the boolean value and does whatever it has to do. So if it's logged in, break. But if it's not logged in, then we use a module as we had used in the number guessing game called time. So we have to import it over here, or else it will show an error. Import time. So in this module we have different functions that are used. For now we'll be only using time.sleep function. So here we have to give how many seconds. So we'll just, for now we'll just give it for 5 seconds. You can give it for anything. So what happens here is it will be repeating this loop forever, and then in this loop we'll have another loop which will ask the password. When the password is correct, it will break this loop and it will also make logged in true. And here also you can print that you have logged in so that the user understands you have logged in. But if it's false, it prints enter correct password, again repeats it, and after 5 times this loop comes to an end. Then if logged in comes into place, and if it checks if it's logged in, it breaks the loop. But if it's not logged in, it stops for some time, and again after 5 seconds it again starts this loop over again, and it continues forever. So let us just run it. Enter the password. I'll just give 4573. But the problem over here is we have to convert this into an integer format. So let us just convert it. So here I'll just give a colon after this, run again. I'll give 34527 6. So enter correct password 12387. No, no, no. So you can see that it is paused for 5 seconds. Now after 5 seconds it's asking, so I'll just give a once wrong. Now it's telling again, so now I'll give the correct password 123456. So it is telling you have logged in and the whole process breaks. So this is how nested loops work. It might take some time for you to understand. If you go through the code again and again, you'll understand the code. It's very simple. If you have any doubt, you can always post it in the chat. Before you leave, let me tell you that all the code we did today is put up in GitHub. Here I've provided the link in the description. Here you have to click on class 6 loops and you'll get all the code that we have done. Let me give you the homework. You're supposed to create a program in which one person gives a number and other person guesses it, similar to the app we created, but here you have to store the number of chances stored by taken by both of them. So you should not use a for loop but a while loop, and whoever takes the least the number of chances wins. And you have to put this all in a while loop such that the user can play it again and again without running the program, and just he's asked, do you want to continue, and if he presses Y, then it's the again starts this over again, in which should be in a while loop. So let me tell you a very nice fact that you have been waiting for. There are around 700 programming languages in the world, so it is almost impossible to learn them all and master software. And what you can see here is just a small piece of how many programming languages exist in the world. This is dated back from the time programming languages came into picture. So thank you everyone. Please learn, like, subscribe and share, and click on the bell button for my next videos. And if you have any doubts, you can put it in the comment section. I'll respond it as fast as possible. We are going to learn about dictionaries in Python in the next class. Thank you.